Before I start with today's session, please quickly comment in the chat section. Am I audible to all so that we can start ASAP? So guys, quickly comment. Am I audible to everyone? So we are going to discuss basically MCQs in today's session. So what I have done is till the date, whatever chapters that we have covered so far, we are going to discuss MCQs based on those particular chapters. So we have 30 MCQs that we need to wrap up in today's session. And I want active participation from each and every one of you. So the option that you will be choosing, you need to give the correct option in your chat section. Plus, at the same time, give me the reasons for choosing that particular option. So plus 2 marks if you choose the option correct and 0 marks if you choose it wrong. And then at the end of the session, we will see that how much you have scored. So this is an important class to understand ki whatever that we have covered so far, how much you know from those particular chapters. And since we are discussing MCQs based on the chapters that we have covered so far, this class is important class for both II as well as IFOI students. So you know the pattern. For IFOI we have 20 marks MCQs, for II we have 100 marks MCQs, and CB1 MCQs are not like CB2 MCQs that they repeat. Every MCQ that you get in CB1 is completely different from what that gets tested in past papers. So every MCQ basically is new in CB1. So we have to devote a lot of time for MCQs discussion in CB1. So that's why I thought ki let's first discuss basically first 12 chapters, and then once we pace up with the course more, we will be discussing the remaining chapters MCQs. So is the screen visible to everyone? Quick check. Is the screen visible to all? Guys, be quick. Simply write yes or no. Okay, so let's start with our today's session with the first MCQ. So see the first question in front of you. Question says, Company S wishes to remunerate its executive directors in a manner that aligns their interests with those of the shareholders. Which form of remuneration will achieve that objective? So there's a company S, and company S wishes to remunerate its directors and wishes to remunerate in directors in such a manner that aligns their interests with those of the shareholders. जैसे हम हमेशा बोलते हैं कि आपके directors और आपके shareholders के interests match करने चाहिए. So which form of remuneration will achieve that particular objective? So if you are pointing out a particular option, give me the reasons for same. So 2 minutes time and to choose the correct option along with the reason. Dhruv, if you are mentioning option C, quickly point out the reason as well. And I want active participation from each one of you is live right now. So we want to reward or basically remunerate our directors. So how can we remunerate our directors such that they also have the same objective as that of shareholders? Now, what do shareholders want? Shareholders want maximization of their wealth. So how to make sure that directors are also achieving the same aim of maximization? If we give directors salary, so they will not be working the way the shareholders want. If we give them a percentage of reported profit, so they will only be interested in basically profit. Now, if we give them company car, again, their interest will not be aligned with that of directors. But if we give them shares, so their main aim would work like other shareholders only. They have the allocation of shares with them. So any movement, any action that they take which has a negative impact on shares will automatically reduce their values also. So the best form of remuneration that companies want to give basically to those employees who keep working for them for a very long period of time is to give them company shares. When we are giving them the shares, they also become shareholders and they can also participate in companies meetings, and they also work with the same aim of maximization of wealth. So for question 1, correct answer is C, +2 for all those who thought correctly, but मेरे पास सिर्फ ध्रुव का आंसर आया है. All others, I want active participation from each one of you. It should not be only one student speaking. So +2 for Dhruv, for rest 0 marks. Let's move now to the second question. An individual has served as a lending officer for K Bank for the past year. During that time, the lending officer has become increasingly concerned that K Bank is making loans recklessly to borrowers who cannot afford to repay those loans. So basically, an individual has served as a lending officer for a particular bank, और lending officer जब वो serve कर रहा था, तो वो एक चीज के लिए concerned था that K Bank is making loans recklessly to borrowers who cannot afford to repay those loans. So which of the following reflects the lending officer's ethical responsibility? So lending officer should ask K Bank's board to resign. Lending officer should ignore the matter. Lending officer should report the problem to the press. Lending officer should resign from K Bank. So answer for this question is 2, guys. We did this MCQs discussion with CV2 students and our entire class was active. If you are participating like this, it doesn't make sense to discuss. मुझे MCQs का आंसर पता है, ये डिस्कशन आप लोगों के लिए, ये मेरे लिए डिस्कशन नहीं है. आपको अभी सिर्फ ABCD ये चूज करना है, and still you guys are not answering. हम कोई सब्जेक्टिव क्वेश्चंस वाली क्लास नहीं कर रहे हैं यहाँ पर. This is the same way that it gets tested in your exam also. So do participate. एक इंडिविजुअल लेंडिंग ऑफिसर सर्व कर रहा है और उसको ये दिक्कत है वहां पर कि लोन्स उन लोगों को दिए जा रहे हैं बेसिकली जो फिर जिनकी कैपेसिटी नहीं है रीपे करने की. तो वो क्या करे? एक ही ऑप्शन है, रिजाइन फ्रॉम के बैंक. रिपोर्टिंग द प्रॉब्लम टू प्रेस इज लाइक ब्रीच ऑफ कॉन्ट्रैक्ट. आप कंपनी की चीजें बाहर लीक आउट नहीं कर सकते हो. आप इग्नोर करना चाहते हो तो आप अपनी एथिकल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी नहीं निभाओगे. आपकी एथिकल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी यही कहती है कि एज यू शुड नॉट सर्व एज अ लैंडिंग ऑफिसर इन दैट पर्टिकुलर बैंक, रिजाइन फ्रॉम योर पोजीशन. आंसर इज डी. क्वेश्चन 3. Which of the following explains the purpose of double taxation relief? Enables countries to receive more tax, prevents profits from being taxed twice, safeguards countries' economic interests, simplifies calculation of tax liabilities. So what's the sole purpose of DTR? So yes, Dhruv +2, Bharat +2, Manish +2. So ये आप सबको पता है कि basically to avoid double calculation, we use double taxation relief. तो answer is B, everyone. तो आप देखो, अगर आप आंसर कर पा रहे हो ना किसी क्वेश्चन को, तो others are also able to answer. So if you are doing good in easy questions, that will not segregate you from prepared candidates. You need to do good in each and every question to reach to that P mark. Next. A limited liability partnership is facing bankruptcy because its managing partner had recklessly taken a loan to invest in a new IT system for LLP. LLP is now struggling to service this loan. The LLP has 3 other partners who work in client-facing roles and take no active part in LLP's management. Which of the following statements is correct? So LLP is facing bankruptcy because वो loan नहीं pay कर पा रहे. So LLP has other 3 partners as well who are working in client facing roles and they're not participating actively in LLP's management. So which of the following statements is correct? Creditors have no further rights once LLP's assets have been exhausted. Only the lender who finance IT system can claim partners' personal assets. 4 partners are jointly and severally liable for LLP's debts. LLP's creditors have a strong claim against managing partners' personal assets. So, out of these 4 options, which option is correct? So Dhruv says A, Pradeep says D. Answer is D. Pradeep, can you explain the reason for choosing D? Or anyone else who also feels D? So we have an LLP. LLP is facing bankruptcy because its managing partner had. आप question पे focus करो because its managing partner had recklessly taken a loan to invest in a new IT system for LLP. LLP is now struggling to service this loan. LLP has 3 other partners who work in client-facing roles and take no active part in LLP's management. जब पार्टनर ने बेसिकली लोन लिया है तो पार्टनर के पर्सनल एसेट्स क्रेडिटर्स यूज कर सकते हैं. सो आंसर इज डी, नॉट ए. +2 for those who choose D. Next question. Company D, based in country H, paid taxes in country L of 2 million on the 10 million that it earned from its activities in that country. So 10 million कमाया था, उसमें से उसने 2 million tax pay कर दिया. Company D pays tax of 15% in country H. What is the maximum offset that company D can claim in respect of double taxation relief on taxes incurred in country L? Choose correct option. Dhruv says A, wrong. What about others? Answer is not A. Dhruv, try to understand. वो 1.5 million already country H में पे कर रहा है. वहां पर उसने 2 million पे करना है. तो मैक्सिमम बेनिफिट आप कितना ले सकते हो? आप ये बोल सकते हो कि मैं 1.5 million ऑलरेडी वहां पे करता हूं, तो यहाँ पर आपको सिर्फ 0.5 million एक्स्ट्रा पे करना है. सो भरत, आपसे उन्होंने ये नहीं पूछा कि आपको कितना एक्स्ट्रा पे करना है. क्वेश्चन इज आस्किंग कि आप मैक्सिमम कितना ऑफसेट करवा सकते हो. तो मैक्सिमम हम 1.5 ऑफसेट करवा सकते हैं बिकॉज वो हम 15% पे कर रहे हैं, लेकिन पे हमें 2 million करना है. So increase portion is 0.5 million, offset portion is 1.5 million. So answer is C.
C.
CB1 MCQs, I am telling you upfront, are extremely difficult for both IFOA and II students. You need to really focus on the wording of the question, otherwise you will lose your exam. Next question. Simon has decided a new type of kettle that will enable buyers to boil water very quickly using very little energy in the process. The kettle will retail for $25. The design work has been completed. Simon requires $1 lakh to finance the manufacture of an initial batch of 10,000 kettles. Which of the following would be the most suitable means of raising this finance? Donation based crowdfunding करनी चाहिए, investment based crowdfunding, loan based crowdfunding या फिर prepayment crowdfunding? नेगेटिव मार्किंग नहीं है पेपर में, आप आंसर दे सकते हो irrespective of whether it's correct or wrong. At least participate. It will not be investment based crowdfunding. It will not be loan based crowdfunding. He already knows before कि उसको इतना पैसा चाहिए, तो आप प्रीपेमेंट क्राउडफंडिंग करो ना. आपको क्यों डोनेशन बेस्ड या इन्वेस्टमेंट बेस्ड या लोन बेस्ड करना है? When you know कि this much amount you require, take prepayment crowdfunding is the most suitable means in this case. Next question. An airline requires the use of an aircraft for next 3 years. Aircraft's purchase price is 60 million. H-Bank has agreed to lease the aircraft to airline for 3 years. Airline will have exclusive use of aircraft for 3 years, after which it will be returned to H-Bank. Lease payments have a present value of 20 million. What type of finance is airline using? Very good question. I have tried to pick as much difficult question as I can because I wanted you to prepare for the worst. There is no point of discussing easy questions in live class that you guys can handle. So perfect. It's a case of finance lease or operating lease. Lease is not for an infinite period of time. लीज का सिर्फ उन्होंने ये सीधा सीधा आपको बोल दिया है कि एच बैंक हैज अग्रीड टू लीज द एयरक्राफ्ट टू एयरलाइन ओनली फॉर 3 years and airline will have exclusive use of aircraft for 3 years, after which it will be returned to H bank, and lease payments have a present value of 20 million. It's a case of operating lease, not finance lease. Just knowledge from your co-reading. Next question. A company's authorized share capital is 500, of which 300 have been issued at a premium of 0.10 per share. The issued shares are 0.5 paid. If company should fail, what is the maximum amount that company's lenders could claim directly from its shareholders? Choose your correct option. So Dhruv says B. Dhruv, show your calculation. Why you are saying B? Answer is B. Navya says B. Any one of you, Navya or Dhruv? you would like to tell why you have chosen B. You can unmute your mic and speak as well. So Navya says basically 300 into 0.55. So how come 0.55? Clearly बोला गया है issued shares की basically जो nominal value है that is 0.45. They have been issued at a price of 0.10. कितने shares have been issued? 300 million. If company fails, so what's the maximum amount? That's the maximum basically amount that companies lenders can claim from its shareholders. हमें maximum बताना है यहाँ पर. So this is the maximum that they can claim. So answer is B. Next, a company has revalued its non-current assets during the year. Where will the gain on revaluation appear in company's financial statements? ये तो सबको आना चाहिए. So company has revalued its non-current assets during the year. Where will the gain on revaluation appear in company's financial statements? Statement of changes in equity, statement of comprehensive income, statement of financial position. Statement of changes in equity, statement of financial position, statement of profit or loss. P&L के अंदर gain on revaluation नहीं आता. Statement of comprehensive income में gain on revaluation आता है. Statement of changes in equity में revaluation reserve में gain on revaluation आता है. एंड स्टेटमेंट ऑफ फाइनेंशियल पोजीशन में आपके एसेट्स भी रिवैल्यूड वैल्यू पे दिखाते हैं और हम इक्विटी में भी रिवैल्यूएशन रिजर्व शेयर प्रीमियम में दिखाते हैं. सो ऑप्शन इज ए. सो +2 फॉर ध्रुव एंड नव्या. नेक्स्ट, which of the following explains why companies have systems of internal control? Internal control systems क्यों होने चाहिए? Again, an easy question. Perfect. So +2 for Pradeep. Internal control system is basically required to manage your staff because otherwise they can make errors or commit fraud. So +2 for everyone who answered C. Next, in what sense does the stock market serve as a performance monitor of a quoted company? Stock market quotation requires compliance with rules. Economic variables can have an impact on share prices. Share price responds to management decisions. Stock market requires detailed financial statements. So how can your stock market serve as a performance monitor of a quoted company? Question is asking you this. So +2 for Bharat. Perfect. Share price respond to management decisions. हमें यहाँ पे परफॉर्मेंस मॉनिटर बताना है. परफॉर्म जैसे आपकी मैनेजमेंट परफॉर्म करेगी ऑटोमेटिकली वो आपके शेयर प्राइसेस में रिफ्लेक्ट होगा. तो because share price respond to management decisions, that is why if company share price is increasing, that means corporate governance and management decisions are taken effectively. So answer is C. Who should be responsible for recruitment and appointment of a replacement if a quoted company's finance director resigns? Chapter 1. If any of finance director resigns, who is responsible for recruitment and appointment of replacement? It's non-executive directors, not executive directors. The main role of non-executive directors is to handle the replacements associated with finance director. So option is B. Next question. A quoted company has appointed the same individual to serve as both chief executive officer and chair. Why is such an appointment often regarded as undesirable? No one will be in charge of the board. One person will have too much power. Individual will be paid too much. There will be insufficient illness cover. सो एक ही पर्सन चेयरमैन भी है, एक ही पर्सन चीफ एग्जीक्यूटिव ऑफिसर भी है. इस चीज से क्या दिक्कत है? एक पर्सन के पास बहुत ज्यादा पावर आ जाएगी. +2 फॉर भरत. आंसर इज बी. नेक्स्ट. Peer-to-peer lending enables individuals to make loans through a peer-to-peer lending platform. How are lenders' advances protected against default? So peer-to-peer lending में basically how are lenders' advances protected against default? Peer-to-peer lending is like diversification because of multiple spreading across different loans. So clearly आपको दिख रहा है B answer. Investments are spread across multiple loans. आपने एक पर्टिकुलर चीज के लिए पैसा नहीं दिया होता, आपने मल्टीपल चीजों के लिए पैसा दिया, तो चांसेस ऑफ डिफॉल्ट इसलिए कम हो जाते हैं. कोई गारंटी नहीं मिल रही है आपको, कोई लीगल एक्शन नहीं है. इट्स पीयर टू पीयर लेंडिंग, अ टाइप ऑफ इनफॉर्मल लोन टेकिंग ओनली, बट सिंस इट्स डाइवर्सिफाइड, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट यू कैन गेट एडवांटेज. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. Which of the following explains why tax law often makes a taxpayer's main private residence free from capital gains tax? जहां आप रह रहे होते हो, that residence as per UK regulations of taxation is free from CGT. तो उसका लॉजिक क्या होता है? मेन रेजिडेंस को टैक्स फ्री रखने का लॉजिक क्या होता है? किसी चीज को अगर हम टैक्स फ्री रखते हैं, हम क्या चाहते हैं कि लोग इस चीज पे ज्यादा से ज्यादा परचेज करें. तो अगर हम मेन प्राइवेट रेजिडेंस को टैक्स फ्री रख रहे हैं, तो हम चाहेंगे कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा लोग, मतलब ज्यादा से ज्यादा होम ओनरशिप हो. सो बेसिकली इन ऑर्डर टू एनकरेज होम ओनरशिप, CGT on main private residence, basically there is no CGTs. So B answer. So +2. Next, insurance company financial statements require premiums received in respect of future liabilities to be identified and held until the liabilities have expired. Which accounting concept does this reflect? Premiums received in respect of future liabilities to be identified and held until the liabilities have expired. Clearly matching concept. Matching concept यही कहता है कि जब आपको कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग, जब तक आपके मतलब रेवेन्यू है या कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग लाइबिलिटी आपकी है, उससे मैचिंग आपका जो भी आपने प्रीमियम्स या रेवेन्यू आप रिसीव करे हो, दे शुड बी मैच्ड अगेंस्ट कॉरेस्पॉन्डिंग लाइबिलिटीज. तो सी. Next, difference between executive and non-executive directors. एग्जीक्यूटिव डायरेक्टर्स और नॉन एग्जीक्यूटिव में सबसे बड़ा एक डिफरेंस होता है, जो चैप्टर 1 में आप लोगों ने सीखा है. So Pradeep says D. They do not manage the company. Yes. Executive directors basically are those who look after the company. Non-executives, they are not looking after the company. Their main role basically lies in handling of recruitments. So they do not manage the company. 17th question, 17, correct option is D. You guys can judge yourself the current level of your preparation. If you feel your answer to every question is going wrong or your maximum questions are going wrong, you need to spend great time on doing past papers questions of your respective societies. Next question. A sole trader's current account has a balance of 200 and overdraft facility of 1000. What is the maximum that account holder can withdraw from this account? मेरे अकाउंट में 200 का बैलेंस है और मेरे पास ओडी फैसिलिटी अवेलेबल है 1000 की. ओडी फैसिलिटी का मतलब ही यही है कि अगर मेरा बैलेंस इस पर्टिकुलर लिमिट से नीचे भी जा रहा है तो मैं इस लिमिट तक अपने अकाउंट से विड्रॉ कर सकती हूँ. तो मेरे पास बैलेंस ऑलरेडी 200 था with an OD facility of 2000. So maximum amount that I can withdraw from my account is not 200, it is 1200. I can avail OD facility of 1000. So answer is D. So guys, read the question very carefully and then answer. Next question. Which of the following explains why depreciation is not an allowable expense for tax purposes in many countries? डेप्रिसिएशन पे टैक्स क्यों नहीं लगता? क्वेश्चन ये पूछ रहा है. आंसर इज ए, नॉट डी. हम लोग डेप्रिसिएशन सिर्फ कैलकुलेट करते हैं कि अच्छा अगर हमने स्ट्रेट लाइन मेथड चूज किया है तो हम इस तरीके से कर सकते हैं, अगर हमने रिड्यूसिंग बैलेंस चूज किया है तो दिस इज द वे ऑफ कैलकुलेटिंग डेप्रिसिएशन. बट इट्स नॉट एक्यूरेट. दैट्स जस्ट रफ एस्टिमेट दैट वी डू बेस्ड ऑन द रफ scrap value that we calculate. So since the scrap value is not determined objectively, since the scrap value is also estimated, the corresponding depreciation is just a rough estimate of this is how your particular assets are decreasing every year. And since it's a rough estimate, so there is no allowable expense for tax on your depreciation. For question 19, answer is A, not D. Next. A company has 100% ownership of an overseas subsidiary that consistently earns profit. The effect of DTR on this group means that it will be taxed at the higher of two countries' tax rates, lower of two countries' tax rates, in whichever country it chooses on the net income received from subsidiary. We just discussed one question of DTR that was asked in some other manner. Again, a question of DTR in some other manner. So read question very carefully and then answer. There is no scope for error in this particular question. So Pradeep says A, Bharat says A. Yes, answer is A. So we just discussed in one country there was taxation of 2 million, in another country there was taxation of 1.5 million. So ultimately you have to pay 2 million and you can offset your 1.5 million that you have paid in other country. So tax means basically it will be taxed at higher of two countries' tax rates. So answer is A. So +2 for all those who answered A. Next question. This is your calculation question. A quoted company has 100 million one shares in issue that have a market price of 11 per share. Board plans to raise 270 million through 9 rights issue in order to finance a project that has an estimated net present value of 140. What is the company's expected share price after rights issue? This is just your calculation question. Do it fast. Do show your working when you are calculating. सो दी मैं आपको एक जनरल एक ट्रिक बताती हूँ. आपको कभी भी कैलकुलेट करना हो शेयर प्राइस बिफोर एंड आफ्टर राइट्स इशू तो आप हमेशा ये चेक करा करो शेयर प्राइस कैसे निकलता है. शेयर कैपिटल डिवाइडेड बाय नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स. Obviously, when we do rights issue, it increases number of shares plus at the same time it increases your capital as well. So let's understand what's the increase in capital versus what's the increase in number of shares, and then we will divide total capital divided by total number of shares. So quoted company has 100 million one shares in issue. So how much was the capital amount? When I am saying 100 million $1 shares, that means I have 100 million shares with a nominal value of 1. So capital that I have is market price of 11 per share. So that means capital that I have is basically 1100. Now 1100 was my initial capital. The board plans to raise 270 million. So plus 270 through $9 rights issue in order to finance a project. और फिर प्रेजेंट जो प्रोजेक्ट पे हम इन्वेस्ट करने वाले हैं उससे भी हमें एक पॉजिटिव एनपीवी जनरेट हो रही है. बेसिकली हम मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन तो है ही है 1100 plus 270 प्लस इम्पैक्ट ऑफ डूइंग द राइट्स इशू विल इंक्रीज फर्दर कैपिटल बाय 140. तो 1100 plus 270 plus 140 which comes out to be around 1510. ये आपका हो गया बेसिकली टोटल कैपिटल डिवाइड बाय नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स. पहले हमारे पास बेसिकली कितने शेयर्स थे 100 शेयर्स. फिर नए शेयर्स हमारे पास कितने आए ये कैच है 100 आपके पास पहले से ऑलरेडी थे. यू हैव रेज 270 थ्रू $9 राइट्स इशू. तो कितने शेयर्स इंक्रीज हुए 30. तो 130 हो गए मेरे पास अब नंबर ऑफ शेयर्स. तो मेरे पास अगर मुझे शेयर प्राइस निकालना है तो कैन आई से 1510 डिवाइडेड बाय 130. कोई फॉर्मूला आपको याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है. आप अपना लॉजिक यूज करो कि पहले मेरे पास 100 मिलियन शेयर्स थे विद अ मार्केट प्राइस ऑफ 11. तो मेरी कैपिटल कितनी थी 1100. फिर मैंने 270 और रेस कर दिया कैपिटल. तो कैपिटल कितनी होगी 1100 प्लस 270. फिर मेरे को ये चेक करना है कि इस इशू से क्या मेरे पास कुछ पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट हो रहा है. यस 140 का पॉजिटिव इम्पैक्ट हो रहा है वो भी मेरा कैपिटल में डल गया. और तो कुछ अब कैपिटल में इंक्रीज नहीं हुआ. डिवाइडेड बाय टोटल शेयर्स इनिशियल प्लस न्यू इशूड. इनिशियल कितने थे हमारे पास 100. न्यू कितने निकाले हमने 270 डिवाइडेड बाय 9 30. सो डिवाइडेड बाय 130. So 1510 divided by 130 will give you your answer. So good question, especially from II perspective. Next question. Which of the following explains why preference shares are usually classified as debt when analyzing a company's financial position? प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स को हम लोग डेट की तरह क्यों ट्रीट करते हैं? So preference shares are not legally debt. Preference shares are not tax deductible. Preference shareholders don't have same rights as debt holders. Preference shareholders can participate in meetings. Debt holders cannot participate in meetings. So preference shareholders have the right to company's profits. Debt holders don't have right to company's profits. So rights cannot be same group. I'm only left with one option, that is B. Preference shares affect the risk on ordinary shares. Basically, it's a secondary statement. Primary statement could have been कि preference shares पे क्योंकि हमें fixed rate of dividend pay करना पड़ता है, and when we are paying fixed rate of dividend on preference shares, तो automatically it reduces the dividends or the capital payments that we have to pay for ordinary shares. So this gives rise to risk on ordinary shares. Answer is B. Don't be in a hurry to submit. Try to fit in your options and then comment. So very bad performance of entire group as of now. You guys are not confident enough to answer. Next. Which of the following is most likely to seek a micro loan? Charity attempting to raise the cost of minibus to transport volunteers. Qualified actuary who requires funding in order to rent an office and start a consultancy. Subsidiary in a group of companies that requires finance to replace equipment. Unemployed carpenter who wishes to buy basic tools in order to start a small business. Micro loan इनमें से क्या होगा? Everyone D. माइक्रो लोन मीन जब हमें बहुत छोटे अमाउंट में लोन की जरूरत होती है, बाकी तीनों लोन्स बहुत बड़े हैं. So answer is D, everyone. Next question. Which of the following statements is true of interest rate swap? The need to use swaps implies poor financial management by parties. Wrong. Parties to swap become responsible for one another liabilities. Wrong. The payments get exchanged, not the responsibilities. The parties to swap effectively make offsetting payments to one another for swap's duration. True. There are no credit risk associated with swap arrangement. This is also wrong. Other party can default. So we have counterparty risk. So neither A is correct, nor B, nor D. Correct option is C. Next question 25. Quoted company is making a rights issue. Which of the following statements is correct? Yes. Okay. So Bharat says D, Pradeep says C. So can any one of you unmute your mic and tell me the reasons for choosing the same?
I think I initially thought of B or C, but that can be true at both the perspective. That is why I chose option D because the share price could increase.
So see, yes, we just did a particular question in which initial price was 11 million, and after the rights issue, the price rose to 11 point something. So we know this thing that when a rights issue is there, so generally when we are issuing shares, when we are issuing new shares, they stand at a discount to their initial value. But that does not mean that share price will not increase. The point is that definitely share price has to increase after the issue. So rights issue may be at nominal value only, and your current market value might be higher than your nominal value. So it's not like that rights issue has to be always less than nominal value. It can be less than your current market value, but can be equal to your nominal value. So option is D, not C. Next question. A company is obtaining a stock exchange quotation through an offer for sale by tender. Which of the following statements is correct? टेंडर के थ्रू हम स्टॉक्स मार्केट बेसिकली कोटेशन इशू कर रहे हैं हम तो ऑल एप्लीकेंट्स विल रिसीव शेयर्स all shares will be issued at same price. Applicants making low tenders will depress the share price. Size of issue will be decided after tender process. Again, a tricky question. So when we are doing offer for sale by tender, how is it different from other options? So offer for sale by tender में क्या होता है basically? Can any one of you explain offer for sale by tender? जब हम लोग ऑफर फॉर सेल एट फिक्स प्राइस करते हैं तो हमने प्राइस हम बोल देते हैं और हम कहते हैं कि जो भी एप्लीकेंट्स इस प्राइस पे लेने के लिए तैयार है तो ठीक है, बाकी एप्लीकेशंस आपकी रिजेक्ट हो जाती है. ऑफर फॉर सेल बाय टेंडर का मतलब क्या है कि आप उनसे प्राइस इनवाइट कर रहे हो. कोई आपका प्राइस 10 चूज कर रहा है, कोई प्राइस 15 चूज कर रहा है, कोई प्राइस 20 चूज कर रहा है. तो जो आपको प्राइस, ऑब्वियसली आपको जो प्राइस ज्यादा मिल रहा होगा आप उनका प्राइस चूज करोगे और उसके हिसाब से आप अपने शेयर्स उस पर्टिकुलर प्राइस पे सबको दे दोगे. तो applicants who bid less than basically the tender price that we decide will get their applications rejected. Those who bid more as well, मतलब एक तरीके से मैक्सिमम प्राइस ही चूज होगा. तो जब आपने जिनको सिलेक्ट कर लिया और जो उस प्राइस पे रेडी की परचेज करने के लिए रेडी है तो यू विल बी सेलिंग एट दैट प्राइस ओनली. बाकी की ऑप्शंस अपार्ट फ्रॉम ऑप्शन बी कुछ भी यहाँ पे सूटेबल ही नहीं लग रहा. ऑल एप्लीकेंट्स विल रिसीव शेयर्स, ये ट्रू नहीं है. एप्लीकेंट्स मेकिंग लो टेंडर्स विल डिप्रेस द शेयर प्राइस. शेयर प्राइस पे तो कोई इंपैक्ट ही नहीं आएगा क्योंकि टेंडर एक मतलब जब तक आपका टेंडर आउट नहीं होगा तब तक शेयर प्राइस पे कुछ भी इंपैक्ट नहीं आएगा. साइज ऑफ इशू विल बी डिसाइडेड आफ्टर टेंडर प्रोसेस, ये भी रॉन्ग है. पहले ही हम लोग बता देते हैं कि हमें इतना कैपिटल चाहिए. सो ऑप्शन इज बी. Purpose of emphasis of matter paragraph in an external auditor's report is to choose correct option. एम्फेसिस ऑफ मैटर पैराग्राफ क्या कहता है कि मेरे हिसाब से बाकी सब सही है एक्सेप्ट दैट यू नीड टू फोकस ऑन दिस पर्टिकुलर एरिया. तो मतलब बेसिकली इट इज ड्रॉइंग योर अटेंशन टू नोट्स टू फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स कि वैसे सब ठीक है एक्सेप्ट बस आपको इस चीज पे थोड़ा सा और अटेंशन देने की जरूरत है. सो ऑप्शन इज ए. Perfect +2 for everyone who answered A. Next question. Which of the following reflects the accrual concept in preparation of insurers' financial statements? Accounting for claim costs and premiums in the same period, this is matching concept. Determining costs based on pessimistic assumptions, this is prudent. Excluding potential claims that cannot be measured objectively, this is money measurement. Recognizing estimated costs of settling recent claims as expenses. कि अगर आपने कुछ खर्चा किया है, it needs to be included in your statements. So answer is D. Last two questions. Be quick. Which of the following best describes other comprehensive income? Is dividend comprehensive income, gains that are taken directly to reserves, income from financial assets, income from operations? So we just discussed this. Gain on revaluation जो हम लोग reserve में लेके जाते हैं. That's a part of your comprehensive income only. So option is B. Next question. Which of the following best describes the attitude that a company should have towards meeting its competitors' information needs when preparing its financial statements? Competitors are legitimate users of statements. Competitors have no mean of obtaining statements, so their interest is irrelevant. Information that is of value to shareholders is likely to be useful to competitors. Information that would assist the competitors should be withheld. Read carefully, then answer. So Pradeep says C, Bharat says C, answer is C. क्योंकि क्वेश्चन ने आपसे पूछा है कि which of the following is best describing the attitude that a company should have towards meeting its competitors' information needs when preparing its statements. So कायदे से अगर आपकी statements आपका competitor रेफर करता है और उनकी नीड्स को मीट करने के लिए जो इंफॉर्मेशन हमारे शेयर होल्डर्स के लिए यूजफुल है वही सेम इंफॉर्मेशन हमारे कॉम्पिटिटर्स के लिए भी यूजफुल है एज पर द बेस्ट डिस्क्राइबिंग एटीट्यूड. अब वो आप दिखाते हो या नहीं दिखाते हो दैट्स अ सेपरेट थिंग, बट यस इट बेस्ट डिस्क्राइब्स द एटीट्यूड टुवर्ड्स मीटिंग योर कॉम्पिटिटर्स इंफॉर्मेशन नीड्स. So +2 for all those who answered C. So guys, if you scored majority questions correct, that's a good start. But if your majority questions are wrong, so it's high time to start realizing that you need to put more efforts for this particular subject. Start realizing where you are losing. अभी तो हमने एक जनरल डिस्कशन करी है, नॉट रिस्पेक्ट टू एनी पर्टिकुलर चैप्टर. सो अगर आप इन चैप्टर्स में ही अगर आपको लग रहा है कि आपके मेजॉरिटी क्वेश्चंस रॉन्ग जा रहे हैं, that means there is a need to revise the chapters thoroughly. In order to revise the chapters, do go through MCQ sessions, do go through your past papers lectures, and do make sure to complete all the questions which are MCQ questions basically at least from 2019 onwards. तो एक दिन बैठ जाओ, सारे MCQ questions at least 2019 onwards of your respective society, try to wrap up. And in order to revise the chapters, do go through the notes instead of going through the content videos or co-reading again and again. अगर एक बार आप वीडियोस देख चुके हो कंटेंट वाली तो फोकस पास्ट पेपर्स लेक्चर्स पे रखो. So okay then, with this we wrap up for the day. Thank you everyone.
Thank you.